How important as a football club chairman is it to have your manager on a long-term deal? It brings stability, doesn't it, to the club?
It does indeed, and I've long held the view that the critical appointment at any football club is the football manager. If you can get that right, you've always got a chance, and we think Mark's done really well. We're very pleased with what he's achieved during his spell, and we're obviously pleased that he wants to continue and extend his contract, and so that's good news all round.
Take me back to the end of the season 2013 when you decided to make a change. What was it about Mark Hughes that impressed you, Tony Scholes, and your son John Coates? What was it about him?
We having made that decision that we were going to have a change, obviously it's one thing to change your manager, but we'd had a very good manager, we'd had 7 good years, and it's having that confidence that you could replace him with another good manager. And it's easier said than done, as we all know in football. We see managers come and go, and they're made in good faith, and they don't work out, and it's always messy and costly and disappointing for everybody. And so, such a big decision to make, and I discussed it with John, as I do most football matters of this sort and of anything that's of great importance. And we were knocking it about, as we do, and Mark Hughes was one of the names, and we fairly quickly thought he was the best candidate. Talked to Tony, he got involved, Tony Scholes that is, and between us he was very much our target man. And so you then go about seeing if he wants to come and all the rest of it. So yes, that's how it came about, that's how it began, and we all were in agreement that he would be a very good choice for us. We obviously taking a close up. When you're involved in a football club and you're champion, you watch managers all the time, and you watch how they do. You take positions on them, you have views on them, and you watch appointments, and you think, would I have done that, or what do I think of that, to yourself? And probably, John and I, if that comes up, John and I and Tony will often talk about what do you think of that, and because you're involved in the game and you're interested in these things all the time, and so you do become a manager watcher, and you always have an eye on people who you think are good and are doing well, and it's somebody suitable for your club as well. I mean, you have to get that right, and so yeah, that's how it started, and we think we did well. And I think our supporters have all been very pleased with what they've seen. So we're having another good season, notwithstanding what happened to us on Saturday. And I've got an easy answer to that. It was the referee who lost us that game, I'm afraid, and he made one very poor decision, which put them back in the game. I suspect we lost a bit of concentration with what happened, and we defended badly the second goal, but you don't get much more straightforward than the handball in the penalty area. But there we are. It's been and gone, I'm afraid.
I know Mark has placed on record publicly how grateful he was that you looked beyond his reign at QPR, because some chairmen would have regarded him as perhaps a manager with a tarnished reputation, but you looked beyond that, didn't you?
He was. I think people were surprised that we went for Mark, and for the reasons I suspect that you have given. He'd got himself. He appeared to take all the blame for what went wrong with QPR, and clearly the club was having a difficult period at that time with the various managers who'd been there, all of whom had got plenty of experience, and in my view have got good track records. So you think of Harry Redknapp, you think of Neil Warnock. They've been around the block, they know their stuff, and they were all having a bit of a struggle, as did Mark. And but if you analyse the rest of his managerial career, you'd be impressed, or we were impressed, and we thought it was a lot. It was right. It had a lot to recommend it, and so yeah, we were convinced he was a very talented and effective manager.
He's very ambitious, and he said to us after agreeing his new contract that he feels the club are perhaps a year ahead of schedule. Would you agree with that? Has it surprised you just how much progress has been made over the last 18, 20 months?
Yeah, we've done very well. We finished our highest position. Our highest position to finish in the top 10 gave us a lot of pleasure and a lot of satisfaction. Yes, we because of change, you sometimes think it'll put you back initially, because of people have got to get used to new things and different ways of doing things and a different approach. So yes, we were delighted, obviously, to finish 10th, and great testimony to him and his coaches, you know, Mark and Eddie. So they've done a great job for us.
Probably a difficult one to ask a football club chairman, but I'll ask it anyway. How far do you think he can take Stoke City?
Well, I'm always cautious about these things, but as ever, I mean, we do want to get better, and Mark, I think, has aspirations to get higher up that table, and we would want to support him in that. And it's great to have him feeling that he can achieve that progression. So yeah, we like to hear him say it, and it's not you're leading with your chin, because you soon get told, you know, well, you said this and you didn't achieve it. But no, he's confident about what he can and can't do, and I think he was surprised with our squad that he inherited, and he said that publicly, which was a nice thing for him to say. So he didn't hide. He said the player, he'd been surprised at how good a squad he got, and he's done really well with them, and they bought into him a new way, different, and it's all gone very well. But I'm always cautious in football, because it's a thing where things easily go wrong, and a couple of bad results, a bit of pressure. But no, we're really pleased with the progress we've made, and we're delighted with Mark's attitude towards it.
Of course, he's been in the managerial game some time, but he's still only 51. He's still got so much to offer, hasn't he?
He started young, you know. He started in Wales, and he destroys my theory. I always have a theory that managers of countries should do it after they've had their club experience, and probably in the latter part of their Hodgson now, for example. And I've always thought that was probably the way to go. You've got all the experience. Day-to-day manager of club football is quite demanding, and so as you get older, you think, well, that's a good fit, because you've been around the block, you've done it, and but Mark proved that theory wrong, because he was probably, I think, Wales' most successful manager in recent years.